And for the better part of the last 10 years, it was the one every sports fan wanted to see. Now, after years of eyeing each other from afar, on May 2nd, 2015, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, two of the best fighters the sport has ever seen, will finally step into the ring, ready to go toe-to-toe.
That drum beat you hear building in the background is fans' expectations of Manny Pacquiao going against Floyd Mayweather.
If you look at boxing history, when two guys can make the kind of money that these guys are going to make, the fights usually get made. So my question was, why did it take so long?
We've come close on occasion before, very close. Sometimes it was money, sometimes it was drug testing, sometimes their training schedules didn't work out.
You're talking about the two biggest athletes in their sport for years and years and years, and they weren't able to come to terms.
So ultimately, after all these years of this dragging on, it was up to the fighters to make this fight happen.
It seems as though the breakthrough moment was the two fighters spontaneously and serendipitously running into each other at a basketball game.
Serendipitous events make a big difference, bigger than the actual business part of it. And maybe that's what happened when Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao got together at that Miami Heat game.
Somehow, through the magic of the universe, you're right in front of each other and have a chance to look each other in the eye as human beings.
He finally was ready, and he wanted to confront Manny in front of the whole world.
At halftime, I walked over to him and I said, let's meet later on. Let's talk. Let's try to make this fight happen for real.
And I saw it blowing up on social media. Pictures of that and accounts of that went everywhere.
You see how big this fight is, and how many people are paying attention to this with the explosion in social media that caused, and the frenzy.
And then something strange happened a little bit later. I got a text from Floyd saying, can you FaceTime me?
I wanted to FaceTime him when I was at the meeting with Manny.
He was sitting on the couch apparently in a hotel room, it looked like, sitting next to Manny Pacquiao.
I said, we're getting close. It was a really, really good thing for him to do that, in my opinion.
And Manny called me, and they said that they felt assured that Mayweather wanted to do the fight.
Floyd, he wanted to be able to explain to him, as two fighters and as businessmen, we need to come together and work out a deal, and let's get the fans what they want to see.
He had a wonderful career, and I had a wonderful career, but before we leave the sport, of course, we have to make this fight happen.
But even after the momentous meeting in Miami, there was still plenty of work needed to make this mega fight happen.
The president and chairman of CBS, Leslie Moonves, really deserves a lot of credit because he got in there and served as an arbiter, basically, between two sides that couldn't talk to each other.
There's a lot of moving parts to make this fight. You have the two fighters with different promoters, two fighters with different advisors and cadres around them, two fighters with different networks.
The only serious issue that had to be resolved was the cooperation between the two networks, HBO and Showtime.
You could imagine Coke and Pepsi working together, or Burger King and McDonald's working together. It would have to take something really special, really historic, really stupendous to make two corporations come together for one event.
Then everyone had to make adjustments to their expectations and compromises.
Les and Richard Plepler, the chairman of HBO, solved all of the major problems in a 12-minute telephone conversation. And everything else was just details, but finally came to a resolution.
Whether it's Floyd, whether it's Showtime, whether it's HBO, whether it's Manny, Bob Arrow, I think they all love the color green. And everybody's going to make a whole lot of green on this fight.
This time all the elements came together. It was just a little bit of luck, a lot of hard work, and people deciding that it was time for this fight to happen.
Eventually, after the most lengthy and difficult negotiation in the history of boxing, the fight that everyone had waited years to see was finally signed, sealed, and delivered.
It feels like a gift to boxing fans. It feels like an unexpected treasure to find under the Christmas tree, and everybody's happy that the fight will indeed take place.
Yes, I'm excited, and I'm in the best mood for this training camp because God gave me peace of mind.
I'm happy. I'm pretty sure he's happy. The world is happy, and you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing history. So you know, it's great to be in this position.
It's time. Two legends. One destiny. All roads end here. Mayweather Pacquiao, May 2nd, live on pay-per-view. Mayweather Pacquiao, Saturday, May 2nd, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
As two of boxing's best, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are both used to imposing their will and dominating their opponents. But the two fighters do it with uniquely different styles, both in and out of the ring.
As a fan, you see the two of them matched up and you're reminded how different they are. Culturally, their personalities, their public personas, their styles in the ring.
There's so much to think about in terms of mapping out a storyline for how this fight's going to go. Is it going to be early rounds for Floyd with his defense? Was Manny going to push him?
And that's why this fight is the irresistible force against the immovable object. Floyd has figured out every fighter that has come in to face him. But here we have in Manny a fighter who is unlike anyone else in the sport.
Greatest offensive fighter of the era, tattooing pork margarita.
And who is more motivated.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 punches in a concession.
Than anyone else Floyd has ever faced. Floyd beats Manny if he does what he's done 47 times before, which is dissect the opponent and dominate the latter parts of the fight.
His defense is superb.
Look at the way he makes him miss. I mean, 3, 4 shots.
And the other big strength he has is his accuracy in punching.
Mayweather no times misfires.
He lands approximately 50% of his punches. That is astonishing.
That's just unbelievable hand speed there by Mayweather.
If he throws that right hand first, he usually does a lot of damage with it.
Chopping right hand. Another right hand by Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather wins this fight if he does what he does at his best, which is control the distance of the fight and remain in a defensive position that discourages his opponent.
He can do it in a variety of different ways. He does it with brilliant footwork.
And there he shows his foot speed.
He does it by countering effectively both to the head and the body.
String combination culminating with the right to the body.
He does it by reminding you every time you've made a mistake, usually with that flicking right-hand counterpunch.
Oh, right cross, clips, Madonna.
And he needs to establish and assert that feeling of mastery, that aura of psychological control.
He can see things in the ring even before they're happening. He can look at you and say, oh, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to set me up for this trap. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you the shoulder roll and lean and counterpunch.
It's like the Matrix. Everything slows down for him.
I have to change the look defensively constantly. I have to give you this look. I have to give you this look.
They're actually switching to lefty. When was the last time we saw this?
That way he keeps the opponent thinking. He'll keep you confused. He'll keep you guessing while he himself gets his offense going. It all comes back to his intelligence, the intellectual part of his brain capacity in the ring. It's his biggest strength.
And now here comes Manny Pacquiao.
In order to beat Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao has to make his role as the attacker the most important role in the fight.